and 6,559 are or 31% are male. So majority of our composition of our membership are females. Young workers composition, 17% of our membership, which is 3,547. Our industrial relations climate has been pretty much stable for over the period. We have recognized the Industrial Disputes Tribunal. They celebrated their 50th anniversary, and this is a momentous occasion for Jamaica. The IDT has been one of those organizations that has helped to stabilize the industrial climate in the country. And this year's theme for the IDT was promoting justice, fairness, and workplace harmony. And a number of our persons were also recognized for long service and dedicated and effective service to the country, one of which is one of our former third vice presidents. In relation to our mental health and wellness program, the Jamaica Civil Service Association has our own wellness center at our park, at Jamaica Park. We have our own gym facility. We have a juice bar that we actually serve healthy juices. And of course, it is a recreational area where we have our sporting competitions and other activities that helps to provide support on the mental health of our membership. The Jamaica Civil Service Association recognized the importance of mental health, and so in our collective bargaining agreement, we actually included it as a discussion point and have made recommendation for mental health days, that is one per quarter. And the discussion has started, albeit not at all advanced, but it is important for us to have that discussion around the table, recognizing that most of our grievances are, and when we have conversations with our members that have been agreed, we recognize that some of them are really going through some mental health issues, burnt out, overworked, underpaid, and a lot of other things, and family issues that may have caused them to have some serious issues. In relation to our salary negotiations, I just want to give you a brief background. In 2022, the Jamaica something burning? Trade union and the government of Jamaica would have restructured salary across government. There were 365 salary scales and 185 allowances that have been compressed into 16 bands, bands 1 to 16, 1 being the lowest and 16 being the highest. What this caused was compression of positions submerged into one, and we're having some challenges with how persons would have been transitioned from the old compensation system to the new, to the extent where we now have a very serious case in relation to persons being overpaid in quotation mark, because persons who are now being appointed are getting less paid. There's a lot of things that are happening that we need to address and may have to address through the court. However, the most important of the transition was the fact that the government would have taken increments away from the members from the public service, and the JCSA and the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions would have been integral in having those increments be reinstated. And I'm pleased to say that we have gotten our 3 increments over the 3 years effective the 1st of April of 2025, because we agitated, advocated, and decided that we were not going to have that increment being taken away just like that. So it was reinstated on April 1, 2025. So in relation to, we are trying to use our collective bargaining agreement to institute all the issues that we have, contract employment being one of them. We have agreed with the government for the elimination of contract employment last year, and it started from our previous presidents, brothers Wayne Jones and Amin Grant. And last year we were able to get 10,000 positions workers off contract into established posts, and we have a number of other contract workers that we are working on getting transitioned. And I am pleased to say that we also have a member of our general council, our executive, who sits on the post operating committee at the ministry that deals with transitioning of public sector workers from contract to established positions. In relation to our industrial relations climate, we pretty much have good conversations and relations with our heads of departments and government entities, and we have not had significant unrest. However, we would have had one in relation to occupational safety and health issues at one of our departments, which was led by myself, leading the workers out of the building and telling the employer that they will no longer be going into that particular condition. Mold was the factor. And what we find was that a number of them were getting ill, including our own departmental representatives. One would have been hospitalized and the other would have had serious impact based on the effect of the mold that was taking place there. And so there was a conciliatory meeting with the Ministry of Labour, which resulted in persons being able to work from remotely and to implement the flexi work arrangement policy that is, we do have one at the Ministry of Finance. But what we find is that a number of entities don't want flexi work arrangement because some of them still believe that they are slaves and backer masters and that they have to be over persons for persons to perform. And there is the need for, education, public education, as to how we can effectively administer flexi work arrangement. I also have a concern about remote work because I believe that the fact that you are working remotely and from home, you're subsidizing the government in terms of paying your own for lights and electricity and so on. And I'm concerned about the compensatory factor for the employee, which now have to use their resources to subsidize. Another area I'm concerned about is also whether or not persons are, if you're injured on the job, you're injured at home, how do you treat that? Secondly, when they give you their equipment to go home and there's an issue, are you responsible? Who pays for it? Is it, there's some things that we need to think there. Yes. So those are some of the things that we have to think about. It's not just working from home. What we have included in our collective bargaining agreement is a 40-hour work week, which was already legally a legal case with the Police Federation, where the public sector workers are expected to work 40-hour work week. Now, in our collective bargaining agreement, we asked for that to be enhanced. So every single person work for 40 hours, whether your 40 hours takes you up to Wednesday, and we eventually have a compressed work week, then the rest of the week should be left up to the workers to determine whether they use it for school activities, taking care of their children, etc. And so that's where the discussion about compressed work week and implementing the 40-hour work week. In addition to that, we have had our overtime policy being passed, and so we're asking for the government to, after the 40-hour work week, everybody is entitled to overtime. Every single person that works beyond the 40 hour be entitled to overtime. I'm just going to, I've circulated the report, but I'm just going to just give 2 more minutes to speak about the occupational safety and health bill that has been around since 1994 and has not been passed. And I believe it is deliberate in some instances, and the fact that I would have led the industrial action would have ignited the the conversation around the establishment of the Ash Bill, which, by the way, is in draft and is with the Chief Parliamentary Council. I am hoping to collaborate with some organization with share values so that we can advance that. In terms of scholarships and grants, we have had our scholarships and grants, and we have last year, I don't have to go into the details, I'll circulate the report, but just to say that we have, in order to ignite the young people, last year we implemented a high school debating competition around trade union matters, and that has helped us to have young persons debate the issues, are unions relevant, what is it that we need to do, and so we use those to enhance our organization and use their feedback, and we value the young people, so we definitely do that. In relation to our skills training program, we, the Jamaica Civil Service Association, recognize the need that skills pays the bills, and so we have instituted a partnership with the Heart Trust MTA, where we have 3 courses that was offered free of cost, which is, I think it was plumbing, tiling, and events planning. And we have had our members train, our delegates, our members, so that they can earn extra income. And we, where we have events in the organization, we employ those same members to carry out our activities, which is, I think, it subsidizing and building our own people rather than giving other persons outside. And I think that is quite commendable. I'm wrapping up now, Brother Steve. We have a lot to say about 30,000, but I'm wrapping up just to say that in relation to our housing development, we have a 20-acre preparation agreement with government. We have handed out 144 units, and we have other developments that will come up, and these developments are in partnership with the government of Jamaica, the Confederation of Trade Union, and our own housing company, which we do have. We do have a lot more, but since I'm given the wrap by the chair, I'm going to take my break. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.